What is LifeDeath, and what is DeathLife? Well, at face value, you might think these terms are interchangeable, but they're actually polar opposites. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First, let's break down what each term means, starting with
Life, death, life, death, life, death, life, death, life, death!
Patrick!
Sorry.
Life-death is giving life to that which is dead. It is the creation of life where there can't be any. Let's take SpongeBob for example. He's not real, he is a cartoon. Frames of animation spliced together to create a character we all know, but as a character, he gives the illusion of life. DeathLife, on the other hand, is more like Frankenstein's monster, an abomination created by the failure to achieve reality, causing emphasis on the inhuman and the unnatural. While LifeDeath draws the viewer closer and suspends their disbelief, DeathLife repulses the viewer and removes them from the experience. So how do you achieve DeathLife? Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within is a good example? The plot revolves around a race of alien murder ghosts that steal people's souls, and the main cast attempts to find spirits on Earth that will change the murder ghost into peaceful ghosts. So how does this film present DeathLife? Well, let's start with the main character, Aki. Her hands, face, and proportions are unnatural. She has an extremely smooth, featureless face, and her hair constantly defies gravity. When the rest of the unremarkable cast is introduced, they also have varying levels of not quite realistic proportions, which differs from some of the lesser characters who at least seem to have somewhat realistic proportions. The supporting characters are a generic cast of sci-fi soldiers. Captain Gray, the leader. Neil, the wisecrack. Jane, the tough one, and Ryan, the black one. Almost all of them have no motivation, and when they do, it's not believable. Ryan is arguably the worst character in the film. He has no real traits, no character development, and does nothing notable in the movie other than die in what was supposed to be a heroic last stand that ultimately falls limp. Literally. The voice acting has little to no emotion behind it, and it feels as though the celebrities such as Alec Baldwin just read the words off the paper. Hearing Steve Buscemi deliver unfunny quips as Neil constantly breaks immersion and reminds you that you are watching a movie.
It's amore, baby.
Overall, Spirits Within fails in a myriad of ways. It's poor writing, disproportionate, unrelatable, unremarkable characters, and the animation itself pushes the viewer away by creating a product that tries but can't quite capture the essence of humanity, thus perfectly embodying what DeathLife is all about. While Spirits Within's characters feel plastic and devoid of life, in 1995, Pixar released a movie about plastic actually coming to life.
You're my favorite deputy.
You've got a friend in me.
Toy Story is LifeDeath in its purest form. It makes the inanimate animate and brings life to a setting where none should exist. Woody, Buzz, and the rest of the toys have relatable qualities and flaws. Woody is jealous.
Listen, Light Snack, you stay away from Andy. He's mine.
Buzz is prideful.
All right, that's enough. Look, we're all very impressed with Andy's new toy.
Toy?
T-O-Y. Toy.
Excuse me, I think the word you're searching for is Space Ranger.
Rex is insecure.
Right, Rex?
Well, no, I don't like confrontation.
And Mr. Potato Head is cynical and lonely.
Mrs. Potato Head, Mrs. Potato Head, Mrs. Potato Head. Hey, I can dream, can't I?
The toys become people with wants and needs. They feel like humans, unlike in Spirits Within, where the characters become more and more plastic as the movie progresses. When the humans approach, the toys play dead. But once the humans are no longer paying attention, they come back to life, making it seem like something that could really be happening whenever you leave the room. At the end of Toy Story, the viewer is left satisfied with the conclusion because they were able to emotionally connect with the toys, while the Spirits Within leaves the viewer confused and unmoved. A great example of a studio that consistently achieves life-death in its films is Studio Ghibli, a Japanese studio known for its ability to breathe life into fantastical worlds and characters. Ghibli achieves this by making their characters complex with human feelings and idiosyncrasies. For example, Chihiro, the protagonist of the film Spirited Away, begins as a somewhat cowardly and fearful child. However, through the course of the film, she shows immense growth and becomes determined not only to rescue her parents from Yubaba, but to prove to herself that she is not the waste of space that the witch claims she is. She also has some little quirks that all people have. In her case, tapping her shoes on the ground to make sure they're on right. It is these habits that really emphasize the humanity of Miyazaki's characters, and give you a sense that they are more than just a series of drawings. Yubaba is another great example of Miyazaki's ability to make fantasy a reality. Yubaba is a greedy, no-nonsense witch who is obsessed with running a profitable bathhouse. It is when she is confronted with the loss of her child that we see her snap to reveal a softer, more human side, less concerned with profit. It is this complexity that makes us buy into the Ghibli worlds and makes them come alive. So let's recap. DeathLife is the failure to create a reality, whilst LifeDeath brings the lifeless to life. DeathLife occurs when a director or animator misinterprets humanity in a way that the audience is pulled out of the story. LifeDeath occurs when a director or animator manages to instill humanity into a character so well that the audience can't help but be immersed into the world they create.